just listened to the Jack and the Beanstalk story. We're going to do ourselves a story map today, a bit similar to what we did last week with Little Red Riding Hood. So let's have a think about what happens in our story. So the first bit of our story, can you remember what happens? What happens? He's got a cow, and what does he do with his cow? Can you think of something at home? He's going to take the cow to market because they're very poor. So that's what happens. So in my story map, I'm going to start off with Jack and his mum and taking the cow to market, which does mean I'm going to have to try and draw a cow. I'm sure you can do a better cow than me. And then he gets, what does he get given for the cow?
The beans.
He gets given the beans for the cow. And then what happens when he gets home? He gets the beans for the cow and he takes them home, and what does his mum do?
He gets in big trouble.
And his mum throws the beans out of his bedroom window, or out of the window, because she's very cross because she wanted some money, didn't she? Not the beans. So
Money.
what happens overnight when the beans get thrown out of the window? What do you see in the morning? What do you see in the morning?
Beanstalk.
A beanstalk. Well done, a big beanstalk. And then Jack climbs the beanstalk and finds at the top of the beanstalk a big giant. And the giant says, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman." That's a very famous part of the story. And then he manages, what does he take before he runs down? He takes something before he runs down. He takes the hen that lays the golden eggs. And then when he gets home, they chop down the beanstalk, chop down the beanstalk, and they have the hen. So that's where they get their money from, and they live happily ever after. So we're going to start the story map. You're going to do me a whole story map at home. We're going to do a whole story map here. But I'll just give you the idea of the story map, remembering how we did it last week. It's the same. We do the story map because it gives us the idea of sequencing the story. So it is the same as we did last week. So we start the drawing Jack. So we're going to keep it simple. These are our symbols that we use all the time for our story map, so that you know that that's Jack. I don't have to write Jack because I know it's Jack. So he has got a cow. So then I'm going to draw a simple-ish cow. It will be simple because my drawing's not very good. And then I need 4 legs. And then there's his tail. And he's got an eye. And we could do patches. Some of you who live on farms would know what cows look like much better than I do. Here we are. There's my cow, but I know it's a cow. It doesn't look very much like a cow. I can't wait. I can't wait to see your cows, to see if they're any better than mine. And we could do his mum as well, because she's in the first part of the story too. And we might draw a skirt to show.
Most cows don't have horns. Some cows do.
Yeah, that's right. So we've just saying some cows have horns and some cows don't have horns. Most cows don't have horns, but some do. And then they take it to market, and the cow, so you need to draw another picture of a cow. I don't know if I really want to draw another picture of a cow, because the cow gets sold. The cow gets sold. If you're at home now, you can tell your grown-ups all about Mrs. Fay and her terrible drawings that we see all the time, but it never stops me from having a go, does it? I'm always willing to just have a go. And I know what the cow looks like. So we know it might not look like a cow, but we know that that image is a cow. So the cow goes to the market and he meets a man, doesn't he? And the man he meets has got long hair, I think, in our picture. Let's give him some long hair so we know that he's the man. And we'll give him a beard. The man that he meets.
And a moustache.
Oh, and a moustache. And he gets the beans. So let's draw the beans so that we know the beans. And then we do our arrow to know that it's the next bit of the story. So the reason we do our arrow is this happened first, then this happened, then this happened. So Jack goes home. So I'm going to draw his home. And his mum is there. So she gets her skirt again to know that it's mum. and she's very cross, and she throws the beans out of the window, and they land on the grass, don't they? And then my next bit is what happens after the beans go out of the window?
The beanstalk grows.
The beanstalk grows. So I'm going to draw myself a big beanstalk with the leaves on it. And then your next picture obviously will be Jack climbing the beanstalk, and then what happens next. So the arrows mean this happens next, and it means as I go through the school I'll be able to retell the story. So I'll be able to say, once upon a time Jack lived with his mum, and they were poor, so he wanted to take the cow to market to get some money. On his way to the market he met a man. The man gave him some magic beans. When he got home his mummy was really cross. She threw the beans out of the window. When Jack woke up the next day, a big beanstalk had grown out of the window. And that's how I could use my pictures to help me retell the story, which is what happens as we get further through the school. Fabulous. See how you get on. I look forward to seeing the photos of it.